Rafael Devers, star third baseman. We have already talked about the third base market that was shaping up for next season. This is going to be a little bit of a hit to it as the Red Sox finally retain some homegrown talent after watching Mookie Betts leave in devastating fashion, after watching Xander Bogaerts go to the Padres in devastating fashion. They bucked up. 11 years, $331 million, and they have their 26-year-old homegrown stud third baseman under contract until he is 37 years old. Great move by the Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm surprised they actually did it.
I'm also very surprised they actually did it. But definitely makes this Red Sox team maybe not a contender. They didn't add anything, but they did retain their biggest asset, and there is something big to be said for doing that, especially with Shane Bloom was on the hot seat. I don't know if this takes him off of it, but it definitely simmers the hate that was going on in Beantown for him. So you watch this extension, and it's hard as a Blue Jays fan not to your initial reaction be Vlad extension.
Yeah. Let's pull up the tweet here for Ben Nicholson Smith.
Okay.
So Rafael Devers deal is relevant reference point for Vlad Jr. and the Blue Jays in any potential extensions. We talked about this right off the start of the show here, right? Like any front office is looking for comparables.
Exactly.
Right? What is comparable numbers? What is comparable age? What is comparable results? Here's a comparable contract, right? It's just as often as possible, that is the approach that a guy wants to go with. So Rafael Devers, this is through age 25, 283, 342, 512 is the slash line, OPS plus of 124, and a 15.2 WAR through age 25. Vlad Jr., the slash line, very similar, 284, 358, 504 with an OPS plus of 135 and a WAR of 13.4. But that is through age 23. Similar numbers, Vlad Jr.'s are better. So, Vlad's camp, that's got to be the starting point for conversations.
Now, from the Blue Jays organization standpoint, I think it is a very good comparable signing. First base is definitely a less valued position than third base, despite the fact that Vladdy does it defensively incredibly
Great
well
point.
at first base. And especially with Bo Bichette throwing balls in the dirt, he's a picking machine. So he is definitely showing he can be that stalwart first baseman defensively. However, I think that you can bet on the fact you still need to be over the $300 million range with an extension with Vladdy. I think somewhere along the lines, what seems fair to me when you look at this Devers deal, maybe 12 years, $320 million. Takes Vlad to his age 36 contract. It makes him one of the big boys. There's very, very few with that 300 million plus contract. I think in baseball, there's 7 of them. I didn't actually sit down and do the math here, but it's a very elite group of players. And I think just the prestige and the ego drive of being in that is something that is important, right? To take your star homegrown stud and be like, listen, you are Fernando Tatis Jr. to us. You are our Rafael Devers. You are the most important thing to this organization. So maybe something along the lines of 12 years, 320 million gets it done. You go, 2023, let's get this done this offseason. 2023, maybe you go 17 mil, 20 million in 2024, 24 million in 2025, and then you go 28.5 million, 2026 to 2034. Put a bow on it. print out Vladdy's face permanently and put it all over the Rogers Center.
I just don't. I mean, so in this proposal, Vladdy gets a
No
contract
trade.
that sees him become a free agent at age 36.
Yeah.
We just talked to Andrew McCutcheon,
Mm-hmm.
36 years old. Last year, he signed an $8 million deal 1 year with the Brewers. Sorry, it's going to be similar numbers to that, I would imagine, for the Blue Jays at age 36, coming off the worst season of his career. I just can't see a situation where Vladdy wants to go year to year for the last 5 years of his career, making between 5 and 8 million a year. I just
Fine,
can't.
let's go 330, 15 years. Like whatever you want to do. If he would like to, I mean, I'm sure the Blue Jays would be all for amortizing it over a longer period of time. I just don't see them going that much higher than what Devers got. So Devers got 331 million over 11 years. Maybe they match that and go 13, 14 years. Again, the first base to third base thing is a big deal. And I don't think it's something that will be overlooked by this front office. And I don't think it'll be overlooked by any front office. So I think Vlad knows.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I could see Atkins coming to the table and bringing a, a
A
very similar
spreadsheet.
deal.
Yeah.
But if I'm Vlad, I can't imagine. I'm looking at a contract that ends when I'm 30, or I'm looking at a contract that ends when I'm 40, and the AAV is going to be similar, but not the total money.
Okay. So we've talked about this lots. We'll leave it at this, but let's end on Vlad is a free agent in 2026. When do you, first of all, do you feel there will be an extension? And secondly, if you were to guess, which offseason will it be in?
Not this offseason.
You
I
don't think
would
it's this offseason, eh?
no, I don't. I don't think that it. I was reading this article on MLB trade rumors, and this is. I wasn't able to verify the claims made in this, but this was. They're talking about the contract extension and the differences between Brian Reynolds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So Brian Reynolds is asking allegedly for 120 million. The Pirates are around 70 million. They talk Reynolds and his service time, where he is in his ARB years. So according to arbitration, he's going to get 6 million roughly this season, and then have 2 more seasons of arbitration before hitting free agency in 2026. So same window as Vlad. This article points out that 6 players in that service bucket, so having 3 years left, have signed extensions topping $70 million. Sean Murphy did that this week with the Braves. And just 2 players in that service class have reached 120 million, with Freddie Freeman holding the record at 135. So again, I can't verify this. I couldn't. It's hard to find a comprehensive list that specific based on service
Yeah.
years. So kudos to Anthony Franco for doing the research. If anybody can contradict that, please let me know. But this is the best information I have. So this is the window that Vlad is in right now.
So most likely, if he follows the path that
The
other free
precedent and the
agents have
history
followed,
being a big mega deal is not likely this off season as he approaches maybe next season or the year after. I don't think they leave it until his walk year. Like
I hope not.
I don't think they want to get into a Aaron Judge New York Yankees situation
Yeah.
where we're watching him hit 75 home runs and then having to really dish out the bucks. I don't think we want to get into that spot. So I think they are going to go hard after the 2025 season. I think he plays.
Okay.
I think that's the way she goes. But what do I know? I'm just a bozo.
Season. I hope it's this season, but you make a lot of sense there. Feel free to drop in the comments here what you think. When will Vlad be signed? 2024, 2025. Will he be signed? Very happy 2023 to all of you. Thank you so much for all the support you've given over the last year. It means the world to Adam and I. Feel free to join the Discord show. Link is in the show notes. Walk Off Podcast on Twitter, the Walk Off Podcast on Instagram, Patreon. Feel free to join us. We've got real reasons to do so now. If you don't wish to wait for the clips to come out, if you would just like the unedited version of the show right away with no interruptions or advertising, that is now available. And we're going to be doing trivia nights as well, which is very fun. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Cheers.